Yeah.
Okay. First question, why this title?
Before I Self Destruct was the perfect title for me. You know, like I wanted to offer what I hadn't offered to the public to this point before I can't offer it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Before I've drifted so far away from where originally they fell in love with that I couldn't create that anymore.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, if you look at the cycle of success from an artist's perspective, the public consumes the material, which makes you this huge success, and then following that, you're no longer the underdog. We all start at the underdog space and position, and you probably never met or saw a bigger underdog than 50 Cent prior to the success of Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah.
And after that project works, there's an interesting process of how things change. Like I believe the general public begins to resent you at some point for continuously being in a successful space because they feel like you're not bearing the same pressures they're bearing. Like because I'm not worrying about the light bill, but while they got to worry about their bills, they're going, "Oh, you're rich, so you're different."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's really interesting to me because they made me rich.
Yeah.
Consuming the actual material. The same guy that is deciding to dislike me or to have negative things to say has previously enjoyed themselves to my material. If they didn't buy it, someone next to them bought it and they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And if someone else had the opportunity to see them enjoying it, they influenced someone else to like me. You know, so they're all part of the actual process.
Okay. I understand. Next question, why Tony Yayo and Lloyd Banks isn't in this album?
On this actual album?
I mean the verse.
Because the Before I Self Destruct project was personal.
Okay.
I kept it to myself. I limited it to 2 features.
Okay.
It's Eminem and there's the Neo record, which was the last song made on the album.
Yeah.
And the bonus cut is the R. Kelly Could Have Been You, which was recorded for Detox.
Okay.
That's why it's a bonus, you know, by a bonus. So if you listen to the record, it's really all 50 Cent.
Yeah.
I mentioned them because they're a part of my life, and at that time period, they're on the record. So the first song, Invasion, The Invitation, is there's a line in it when I was like, the ball dropped, gun pop, Banks got shot. You see what I'm saying? Like, because he got shot on 9/11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I made reference to that at different points, and then I said, I mentioned Tony on Death to My Enemies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's different points that they're still there, but they didn't have to perform on the record. You know?
Okay. Okay. My next question is, you got a lot of beef in this industry, but we in France, we want to know how deep are this beef. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to know if Jay-Z or Rick Ross is in this room right now.
Yeah.
What will be happening?
Well, you know what you gotta do? You gotta look at a person's experience in life and kind of gauge, you know, who they are. The things you gotta be able to judge a person. Try and be a good judge of character, all right? So if a person has expressed disrespect for me or an uncomfortability with the success that I've been having for the last 6 years, because let's say if you're Rick Ross, and you want to develop a stronger notoriety, a stronger base, so you decide to take a shot at me right before your album releases. Your street track is mafia music where you're talking about me and my personal issues, and then your commercial record is playing at the same time. So you know what that is. That's someone trying to advance themselves at that point. And then if you take Jay-Z, because you offered these 2 people, I'll utilize them as an example. And he's an artist, great artist. Had huge consistency of 11 albums. But if you add us up, if you look at the numbers,
almost the same.
I've done more. His career on my first 2 records. I'm only on album 4. I'm just getting started. You see what I'm saying? So it's a long time for me to for you to make those direct comparisons, but I've accomplished what he's accomplished in 15 years in 4.
Okay. But is this serious?
You know what happens when people compete with each other and they grow into a space where they start to be really disrespectful, it turns into something more than music.
Okay.
You know, so you face to face with this guy and then you say, I don't really like to make idle threats until I'm dead serious about doing it.
Okay.
You know, so it'll be really entertaining. By the time I start saying I'm gonna do it, because then I'm gonna do it or I'm gonna get it done.
Okay.
And they're gonna watch me get away with it.
Okay.
And then it's gonna get scary. It's gonna be scary because they're gonna see how easy it is for me to do it and get away with it.
Okay.
You know, like.
Okay. My next question, Beanie Sigel. What
Yeah.
about Beanie Sigel? You want to sign him?
BC was a talented artist. I liked his music from before.
Yeah.
You know, originally his music was with Rockefeller. The same way I enjoyed Mobb Deep and MOP. And in the time frame that I was actually signing Mobb Deep and MOP, I was talking about possibly doing a deal with Beans. You know, he actually was in a federal penitentiary in New Jersey. He had to do a year and a day in the same penitentiary with my uncle, who'd been in jail for 16 years. So he'd been down for a long time. So I'd come see my uncle and Beans would have to feel what it felt, what the jail felt like when 50 Cent is coming in there. But I'm selling 12 million records on this album at the time. So everybody has a general interest in 50 Cent at that point.
Yeah.
So even the correctional officers having conversations about me being there. And he expected Jay-Z to come see him. Jay-Z never came to see him.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah, so while you got those different things, I mean, it's an interesting. What I think what happened with Beans and them is I think they thought they were down with Jay-Z and Jay-Z wasn't down with them.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Since day one?
When he was saying Rockefeller family, Rock La Familia, and that didn't mean family. That was just a part of his presentation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he don't care about none of them, obviously.
Okay.
So, you know, as far as me signing Beanie in the future, Beanie is still contractually signed to Def Jam.
Okay.
You know, so we gotta see what we can do.
Okay. My last question, you're an ex-drug dealer. How do you feel when young kids like Soulja Boy say you're a role model now because you sell a lot of records, you got a lot of business? How do you feel?
Well, you know, when you look, Soulja Boy is a great example. I've always loved the idea of Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
Because if I had a hit record at 16, I wouldn't have the same history. You see what I'm saying? Like if I had the opportunity to be successful that early, I would have already developed my passion. He already tasted the hit juice.
Okay.
Once you take the hit juice, you're addicted. So you want to hit for the rest of your life, and he gonna work to stay in that space. And for a kid like Soulja Boy, a guy like Soulja Boy, because he's not, I don't want you to call him a kid. Call him a kid. See, he had his first hit record wrote it at 16 and had it really be a hit at 17. And it just happened to happen within the same time frame that I was successful in front of him. So for the last 6 years, after Get Rich or Die trying to sell 12 million records, and the Massacre sells 9.8 million records, and Curtis, and now before I Self Destruct, I've been one of the people that's right there visibly in front of him on top of the actual game. So he'll say, yeah, it's a role model, it's an explanation, it's an example.
Yeah, he said
of how you can actually...
He's role model, he said that.
Yeah, because I mean, that's my guy. Like, if you look at the younger artists that are coming up, he has a pretty high consistency. They thought he was going to come with that one hit and go away. You know, you got a lot of artists that come one hit, bye-bye, they gone. You know, and he came and then the next record came out and he had Turn My Swag On.
Yeah.
He had, you know, Kiss Me Through the Phone. He had like, he's not a,
You gotta get some weight.
It's not, he got some heat. So when an artist can do that and you can grow up doing it, like that, it changes everything. It changes the house your mom lives in.
Yeah.
Changes how your grandparents live out the rest of their lives. It changes Christmas for your little sisters and brothers and everybody else. So that right there, that process, just me, you know what I would be thinking if I had hit a 16? Right after I bought my mom's house, and I got my grandparents in a cool space, I'd be saying, I did everything. I can care less if I don't have a hit from here on. But the rest of the hits are for me now. Because I took care of everybody I needed to take care of.
Yeah.
You know, like, think about it. The people who took care of you when you couldn't take care of yourself, your goal in life should be for you to work, live comfortably, and to be able to take care of them when they can't take care of themselves. If they live long enough to go through the cycle of life where they can't take care of themselves anymore, they need somebody to help change their diaper. Because we go from being babies to being almost full-grown babies again.
Yeah.
You know?
You did it, you did it. I still said you're the last gangster rapper.
Yeah.
You agree?
Well, I don't see a lot of people that, when he made that statement, I understood what he was saying.
What?
When he made that statement, I understood what he was saying.
Yeah.
Because I look around and I don't see any representation of what I fell in love with initially in hip hop. You know what I mean? So Ice-T is like he's like in the very beginning of that.
Yeah, icon.
You know, he was there as an icon. So when he see me out there and can convey that energy, and from a real space, I think that's what made him offer that statement, and that's an amazing compliment from him.
Yeah, that's good.
You know.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Can we have some pictures?